Activision devs do not play their own game. It's not your dad doesn't support you.
You should know, you worked at a coffee shop, you stupid bitch.
My name is Casey, and absolutely not fucking Tanner, because my parents don't hate me that much.
Hey, did they have just 8 patches lined up, but they just didn't release them because they were on break? No, you moron kids.
Then we'll, of course, get into it. Change your fucking name and get scammed. He's feeling under the weather.
I probably won't say another word until Stay Humble, so have a good pod, Raz. I'll be here listening.
Got it. We are live, boys and girls. Welcome to the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast, episode number 215. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon, and I'm excited for today's episode. And I'm joined by someone who may or may not be as excited as I am for this episode, Tanner. Tanner, how
well, if this
excited
episode's
are you
about
for
Elden
this
Ring,
episode?
I'm gonna fall asleep right now. So are you gonna talk about Elden Ring or Call of Duty?
We could talk about Elden Ring if you want to make this an Elden Ring episode. We could do
resident
that.
sleeper IRL right now, yeah.
Everyone loves Elden Ring, dude. It's just that simple, man. It's a great game.
It's cool.
Fantastic game.
Don't talk about it. That's great. Go talk about it in private.
No, I won't be doing that. I'll subject you to it.
Why don't
I'll
you
do it on
change
your stream,
Why
by
don't
the way.
you
How
change the
disrespectful is
sports or music
I took
terrible
over
channel in our Discord
your
and change it to
stream
an Elden Ring channel?
and talked about Elden Ring, man. I just took it over, dude.
Cool.
A hostile takeover. A coup d'etat, as the French would say. Welcome to the show. Today we are not talking about Elden Ring, unfortunately. We're going to be talking about Vanguard ranked mode. And we, as I said, we are very excited to be doing this episode. We played ranked mode. We're going to talk about it, obviously. Our experience was, at least my experience was very different than what I expected. So we will, of course, get into that. But first, just one announcement, really, for me, anyway. Tanner and I have purchased controllers. And we've used the controllers a bit. Tanner went on Amazon and got a $30 controller that actually has two, they're not paddles, they're buttons, but they're in the location of paddles. I'm going to call them paddles because more people know what that means. They're effectively just paddles. Yeah, they're little tiny buttons on the back. So they do have, the controller does have all of the tools that a scuff would have that people actually use, or at least most of them, as far as I can tell. The biggest reason to get an aftermarket controller is those extra buttons on the back, which we have. And it was only $30, and the reviews for it were actually quite good. So Tanner and I both got the same controller. It's like a Power A Xbox controller that works on PC, obviously. Works great, plug and play. You plug that shit in, and I didn't have to do a goddamn thing. It simply worked. The game recognized the input method, and then we were off to the races. So the controllers have been purchased. I've been using mine for Elden Ring a lot, and it's been great. And also been using it a bit in Call of Duty. So I have played about 2 minutes of pubs with the controller in Vanguard multiplayer. And then I also used the controller in Vanguard customs for 2 hours or so. So I got an amount of practice in. I copied Lavoxina's settings. So I have all the meta settings because he's all up on that shit. I'm running 7 cents, so it's fairly high. It's quite high, let me be honest.
I don't think that's high.
Well, okay, I do.
I think they run between 6 and 8. That's what I saw. I think I copied Biffle's. I think his was 6.6. So I think most of them are around there. Yeah.
Okay. Fair. It feels high to me, but I haven't used a controller in 15 years. So I was like, holy shit, this is a lot more sensitivity than I expected. Because it felt like what I imagined 15 sensitivity would feel like, but it was 7. So anyway, I have that. I copied all my settings. I have the correct aim assist setting, the correct dynamic response
I turned mine off.
time.
I think I'm better with it off.
Kill yourself in game. Don't ever do that, by the way. If you're playing on a controller and you actually think you play better without aim assist, you're wrong. Turn it back on and get used to it. It's so simple. So simple. You have no advantages if you turn off aim assist. You go from having 1 advantage to 0 over keyboard and mouse. If you don't play with aim assist, just play on keyboard and mouse.
I don't know, man. I was hitting my shots.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
You're trolling. Got it. But anyway, yeah, I set up all the settings, played some Vanguard customs, which is effectively just multiplayer. It was fun. It was an experience. And my plan is, I think, because like I want to do that episode on controllers now, but I want to have more experience before I do it. And I want Tanner to have more experience before we do it. So I think what I'm going to do is for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, every gameplay stream, I'm just going to use a controller. I'm going to be fucking dog shit at it. And by the way, let me be super clear. I am dog shit at using a controller.
Oh, free kills and customs last night.
Tell the people about your experience versus me on the sticks in customs.
Well, I wasn't using the stick.
You're a coward, right?
I didn't want to plug mine in. Wasn't interested. Hadn't used it in Vanguard. Didn't want to set it all up. So, yeah, I did it in for our Damascus hangout last night. We did some Vanguard customs, mostly snipers only. It was fun. And anytime I would come across Raz, I would literally just stand in front of him and just keep moving side to side, jumping, sliding, just staring at him. I would stop for like 1 second, see if he can get his aim on me, and then he'd miss a shot. And then I'd just run up and I'd stab him in the throat with my sawtooth, my katana. I'd throw a throwing knife at him.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing. Anytime you came across him, you knew it was him because he accidentally crouched every single time and then just stopped moving. It was a sitting target. There's one point too, I just kept sliding around his body and he like couldn't turn fast enough. And I was like behind him. He was all confused. He thought I disappeared. So he was terrible.
Well,
yeah. So
awful.
I will say this, lot harder to use it for the first time than I thought it would be.
Same.
And the aiming is what I thought it would be, which is there's no reason I should be hitting a lot of the shots I was hitting.
How much have you used the controller? Tell us about that.
I only use it in MW multiplayer for a little bit.
And you didn't change any set. You just
I just changed the
settings, right?
No, I changed the I changed the response curve and then my sensitivity. But yeah, it's like for me, I haven't played a first-person shooter on a controller. It honestly probably was like for more than 10 minutes. The last time I played a first-person shooter on a controller was probably Infinite Warfare, which was, what year was that? 2015?
I don't even know.
I don't know.
I never played it.
And I had that game. No, it was probably longer ago than that. What year did that game come out? Or was it Advanced Warfare? Which one was it? No, it was Infinite Warfare. 2016. And so I played that on console a little bit because some of my friends had it. And, I probably put, 20, 30 hours into that game. So not very much either. But that was
not much at all.
Probably the last time I played a first-person shooter on controllers. So it was weird because the only games I ever played are sports games, GTA, Red Dead, games like that. So it felt very weird. But movement was not easy for me at all. I will say that. But I mean, that's kind of the thing I think we've always said is like, that's like the tough spot with aim assist is it's definitely necessary because I was dog shit and I could barely spin my character, but I was able to get kills and it helped me get those kills that I would have absolutely not gotten otherwise. But then you go against someone who's been playing on a scuff for the last 15 years, 12 hours a day playing Call of Duty, and they get the same strength of aim assist as a person who just plugged their controller in and started playing for the first time. So that's kind of like the rough spot I think it is. But yeah, it was an experience for sure.
Yeah. So I'm committing to only using a controller for the next few weeks in Call of Duty.
Flip that.
In preparation for this episode. Tanner, are you willing to adhere to the same commitment? From now on, controller only for our Call of Duty streams. Got it. So when are you going to use a controller so we can do this episode?
I don't know. I mean, Season 2 Reloaded comes out next week. I want to have fun and actually enjoy whatever comes in that. So no, I'm not using a controller.
Okay.
We'll do the episode sometime this summer. I don't know.
So the episode's not coming out. So we'll edit this announcement out because this episode's just simply not happening. But yeah, we might, if we ever do this episode, if Tanner is ever, has some bravery, then we will talk more in detail about controllers. But I already have some of my opinions are reinforced and others are wildly radically changed. So we'll get into that maybe if Tanner ever stops being a coward. But that won't be for a couple weeks, but we'll let you guys know. I will be using a controller only. So if I'm streaming gameplay in the near future, you guys can come watch me be just horse shit. Awful.
You may want to play
At
Rebirth.
this video game.
You're probably better off doing Rebirth.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely. I'd be better off playing Rebirth for sure. But whatever you guys want to play, I'll play. I don't fucking care. Anyway, so there you go. That's that announcement. Other than that, any other announcements from you, Tanner?
No. No, what we should do is you should actually make a Warzone alt account so you have a terrible KD on that one so you get put in shit lobbies.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that because it would be really annoying playing on a controller in Warzone on a team with everyone has a fucking 8 KD.
Yeah.
And then we're just in demon lobbies. Yeah, that I can't win on keyboard and mouse, let alone I can't even fucking slide cancel on controller. So how's that going to go?
Oh, I don't know how
it's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting. So maybe I will make an alt account. We'll see. That's not a bad idea. Maybe
an alt account.
Yeah. But if I play with you guys, then it's not going to matter. Still going to be in the same lobbies.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know.
We'll make alt accounts.
Yeah, whatever.
No, then you got to level up guns. Never mind. Forget I said that.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like,
never mind.
Because it would be the same lobbies unless I played solo, which I'm absolutely fucking not doing. So
yeah,
I don't think it's gonna matter. So whatever. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Other announcements, Tanner. Got it. Thanks.
Yeah. Yep.
It's fun though, dude. That's one thing I'll say about having used the controller for customs. It was fun. Because it provided a new, unique challenge to playing Call of Duty that I haven't had ever. I mean, well, I had it in BO4 because it was my first time playing an FPS on keyboard and mouse. And that was really fun. That was part of the reason I think I enjoyed BO4 so much.
Yeah, that's
because I was also learning keyboard and mouse,
That's what people like Shaded and them and like OP Marks have said is that it's because the game is like stale for them because they play so much. It's interesting trying to learn something new and get good at it,
Yeah, exactly. And it was really cool. Like, even though I was doing way worse than I normally would, I was having a lot of fun.
I never saw your name on the scoreboard. You were so low. Yeah.
Oh, I was dog shit. Yeah. I did do well with the well gun though. Let's not say
you should have just used the Whitley.
Yeah, I should have used
2 taps through walls,
not move my character. But anyway, we'll do that episode eventually. All right, so welcome to the show. Today we are not talking about controllers, however. We are talking about Vanguard ranked play CDL rule set mode. And we played this, Tanner and I both played this on keyboard and mouse with our comfortable input methods. And we had some experiences. So Tanner and I had been pondering the idea of doing an episode on ranked play for quite a while. We even thought about doing it for Cold War, but we never got around to it because Tanner hated Cold War. And it would have been a nightmare, honestly. Everyone would have just quick-scoped with Pellingtons. That would have been every single... There wouldn't be SMGs. There would just be... You have like lags like, you usually run 2 SMGs and 2 ARs on this map in this mode. What he would have been saying in Cold War is, okay, what map is it? I forgot. It doesn't matter. What game mode is it? Oh yeah, that doesn't matter either. We're going to run 4 snipers. Everyone get a Pellington now. Everyone would run the same class. So Cold War ranked would have been a disaster. So we never ended up actually doing that. But we've wanted to do an episode on ranked play for a while. We thought about it for Vanguard and we actually are going to do it. That's why we're here now. So on Tuesday, Tanner and I played Vanguard ranked mode for 3 hours, quite a while, long time. And we're going to talk about it. So we had never played ranked in Vanguard before. We didn't really know shit about it going into it. We kind of went in blind. I mean, we knew there was going to be search and destroy. That's in every ranked mode. And we knew there would be restrictions, etc. So when we played on Tuesday, we played with Bandit and Lag Show, because it's 4v4. And we all had never played ranked in Vanguard before. So we did our 5 little placement matches, and then you get placed. You get like an SR, which is like season ranking.
No, it's skill rating is what the SR
Skill
means.
rating, that's right. Yes, skill rating, which is basically your personal like elo, your personal rank. Skill rating, I mean, it's in the name. And then we continued to play for quite a while. So it was all of our first time playing ranked mode. So before we talk about this episode, we're going to first cover the details of ranked. What is it? What are the differences between it and pubs? For those of you who have never played it before, we're going to go over some observations. We're going to talk about what we didn't like, what we liked, and then our kind of overall impressions of ranked mode. And we're going to try and sprinkle in some tips here too. Tanner's written down at least one, but
I have the meta strat for ranked play. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the meta strat
for Cole lobbies. Sure.
Okay.
So here first, we'll start with this first category about ranked. So it's 4v4. You can queue solo or with 4 people. It's up to you. Queue with 4 people. It is the CDL rule set. So here's the thing. I don't know if CDL has always been that restrictive.
Yes.
But
Yes.
There is nothing you can use. You're allowed to use 4 different guns. Only 2 of them are good. You can use like 1 attachment per slot. So everyone runs the same setup because that's all you can run. You can only use frag grenades. You can only use stuns.
Well, yeah.
Like it's super omega giga restrictive.
And they let you use streaks, but there's
you can use. Yeah, exactly. Our glide bomb and
strafe run, which is a
strafe
miserable
run,
kill streak,
which is like precision airstrike. It's dog shit. Yeah. So it's incredibly restrictive rule set. The game modes are search and destroy, control, which is a quasi respawn game mode. It's a respawn game mode. And then hardpoint, which is the only thing most people are probably familiar with. And then the maps are Tuscan, Gavutu, Desert Siege, Bocage, Berlin, maybe others. We're either forgetting them or we just never got them because there is a map density problem, which we'll get into. Anything else about ranked that we should be telling people? Did I get all the maps?
Oh, there's probably 30 more maps. Those are just the only ones we got. Yeah. And of those maps, we got Desert Siege 8 times. So, I don't know what the whole CDL map list is. I haven't watched CDL this year. It's not the most entertaining thing for me. But those are the only game modes. Yeah. Search and destroy, control, hardpoint. And yeah, the CDL rule set, in my opinion, is a fucking joke. But that's not the fault of ranked play. That's CDL. That's what the players want. I believe that's what the players, like the teams, kind of come to an agreement on. And then the league, they kind of say, we want these attachments removed, etc. Like there's things like you can't use like recoil booster, I don't believe, which is good. You shouldn't be able to use stuff like that. That's going to make the time to kill even faster in a game that already has fast time to kill. You can't use most of the magazine attachments. Things like that. You can't use suppressors. So I don't think there were so many guns that were necessarily banned. It's pretty much just attachments. And you only see, I'm not kidding, the entire time we played, you only see autos and MP40s. And then Raz used an STG for one game. I swear to God, I think that was the only time I saw another gun besides the auto and MP40. I'm trying to think. I really don't think we saw any other guns, because those are the 2 meta guns in CDL apparently, and so that's all anyone uses. Everyone sets it up the exact same way. Lag Show sent us some Optic players guns. He said, here, use these to set it up. So we didn't put any thought or effort into actually building the guns because we just wanted to experience rank play and see how it is. So we set it up exactly how they use these guns in the CDL pretty much.
Yep.
So, you know, we could have experimented with other things, but it's like, what's the point knowing everyone's using those guns? I just know you're going to be at a disadvantage if you don't use them. So we stuck with the 2 meta guns, and that's it.
Yes, especially in a ranked playlist, people are going to only use the best shit. If everyone's using an automaton, it's because that's the best gun. They've already done the experimenting for us. We're not gonna discover, playing ranked for the first time, a better gun and setup than what CDL pros have figured out. So yeah, we just went with the smart play and just used like the meta shit. So that was that. So that's about ranked. Now some observations. These are in no particular order. The CDL mode in Vanguard is just a fucking mess. But this is kind of part and parcel of how Vanguard has been treated by Sledgehammer in general. Just a buggy, weird, ill-conceived mess. Here are a couple observations about that. You can't see how much rating you gained or lost after a match. So you have your like skill rating, and you can see it at the lobby. No. Before you queue for a match, in the ranked play menu, you can see your skill rating. There's like a number. And then if you press Q, you can't see the skill rating anymore. And then the game ends and you don't see anywhere, it's not possible, whether you gained or lost skill rating, and if so, how much. You have to, and what I was doing was I was typing my skill rating into Twitch chat before I queued, and then checking it after the match to see by how much it changed. So this is like a core, basic, obvious feature that needs to be in the game that just isn't. Super dumb.
Yeah.
There are supposed restrictions on playing with other people also. So for example, I was expert skill rating, which was like 3rd highest, I think.
No, you weren't expert.
Yes, I was. And bandit was specialist, which was like 5th highest.
Expert is 2 higher than specialist.
Okay, yes, correct. Yeah. So according to the in-game CDL rules, I shouldn't be allowed to queue with bandit because his rating was too low. But we tried queuing and it just worked fine. It like didn't matter.
Yeah.
So like it says in game, I was looking at the rules and it said if you're expert or higher, you're only allowed to queue with other people within 1 skill rating of you. But I was allowed to queue with bandit, who was 2 below me. So I was like, okay, so that just doesn't matter, which was good because we were going to have to like stop playing and we didn't have to. I was fine with it, but it was just dumb. Like that's obviously not working as intended. The gunsmith also has, so it's weird because you're building a custom class and you go to muzzle for the MP40. And instead of 14 attachments, you only see 5 because these are the ones that are allowed in CDL. So, okay, cool. That makes sense. I'm glad they do it that way. But then also there are exclamation points on certain attachments implying that they are restricted in this place, in this playlist. Okay. Well, you already took out 10 attachments from the muzzle category. Why not just take out that one also instead of putting an exclamation point? I don't understand why you're doing that. And then I don't even know if the exclamation point means anything because it still let me use the gun or the attachment. Yeah. So I don't know I still don't know what was going on. Just again, a buggy, weird disaster mess.
So like what you're saying is basically some of the attachments would be locked out, right? And you literally wouldn't be able to put it on your gun. But then other ones would let you put it on and then you'd launch the game and it would say that it was like restricted or something, right? Is that what you're saying?
Some of them wouldn't be in the list. So like for the MP40, let's say there are 10 muzzle devices in pubs. When you're making a class in ranked play, there's only 4 on the list. There isn't even a lock or a grayed out. It's just not there. It's absent. But then in addition to that, of the 4, there are exclamation points on 2 of them. So it's like, why not just also remove them? It's so weird. That's what I remember anyway. Maybe it was different. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
It was a mess.
Like I said, I literally copied an Optic Player's things. I didn't look through the attachments really and think about it at all. So that could be true. Yeah, that could definitely be true.
Yeah. So, and another observation before I forget. Everything's already leveled for you. So if you want to play ranked play, but you don't have your like automaton max level, it doesn't matter. You can just use it with it it gives you every attachment, just like a private lobby does.
Yeah.
So there's another thing to consider. But anyways. So yeah, I don't know what the deal was there, but there was something fucked up with the gunsmith. That is for sure true. Because we were getting exclamation points on our custom classes that we had created once we loaded into our first game, and we were really confused why.
$25 million buy-in, by the way. $300 million league.
Exactly. Yeah, smile.
Yeah.
So all of this is to say these are some examples of weird, buggy, and lack of care and attention that this mode has gotten thus far. And I am positive there are more weird bugs and messes with ranked that we just didn't encounter for our 3 hours of playing. But all this is to say it is fairly like weird.
Yeah. And
surrounding the game.
And you know what? So it didn't come out. Ranked play wasn't. It came out like a month ago about. So it's like it is still relatively new. And Treyarch is handling ranked play, not Sledgehammer. So ranked play has already received more updates in 1 month than Sledgehammer has updated all of Vanguard since November 5th. So they've done quite a bit on it. They've fixed a lot of things. They're constantly, they're tweaking things, changing things. But really, there's only so much you can do since it's just following the CDL rule set. So it'll get to a point where it's just there's no other changes besides just bug fixes going on. So I feel like it's pretty much already at that currently. But yeah, for this only coming out so recently, I think it's actually in a pretty good spot when you look at things compared to Vanguard multiplayer and how Sledgehammer's handled all the other bugs and everything else in that game.
Yeah, I will say, to be fair to your credit, like what you just said, actually playing ranked itself was not like buggy at all. Like it was all like menu shit.
Yeah.
That was like weird, but like the performance of the lobbies was fine. The ping was just like pubs, which is pretty good in Vanguard. The latency, the hit reg is pretty good. The frames were fine. People weren't like crashing or disconnecting more than in pubs. I think we had people who crashed at the menu, but no one ever crashed in game. So that was nice. So the performance of the game itself, once you're in a match, was pretty much fine. And finding a game took not too long. So that like it performed well where it matters most, which is good. So yeah, there's another observation to be fair. Yeah.
It took a little while to find some of the matches, but that's understandable in a ranked mode anyways, because it's only putting you against people of that skill level, so you have to wait till there's a group queuing that's in your same skill level, queuing at the same time, and
Correct.
trying to find good ping. So, we probably waited sometimes 3-4 minutes to find a lobby. It takes longer than like finding a lobby in Warzone. If you're VPNing in Warzone, it still takes longer, but it wasn't bad, yeah.
So, yeah. There were a couple matches, like 2 or 3, where we waited for like upward of a minute, I would say.
Yeah.
But most of them we found pretty quick. Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, performance is pretty good. Next observation: not having a trophy system did not matter to me at all. Because we talked about how CDL players were malding that there aren't trophies in Vanguard and that it's going to like ruin ranked play or whatever. And I will add, maybe at their skill level, this is true, and not having a trophy system is really dumb. For the actual CDL, I would concede that if it's true. I don't know. But in us playing CDL ranked play, not having a trophy system did not feel that bad.
Yeah.
I didn't like miss it. I didn't even think about it until I was doing these notes. I was like, you know what? There wasn't a trophy system. I didn't even care though, Yeah,
never once did I think about it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, that was actually surprising. There is, it would be nice, but it wasn't game breaking at all. Because one thing I've noticed about Vanguard, it's always been this way. The explosion radius on a frag grenade is so far. Like, you get that notification and you think you're far enough away. I run like 5 feet and I'm still in the radius and I still see the little frag grenade icon on my screen and I still take damage. It's not like killing you out super far, but I feel like it does damage very far out compared to like Cold War and Modern Warfare. I don't know what the actual stats are on that, but it does feel that way. So trophy system would be nice. It's probably, like you said, at their skill level, the actual CDL, and then once you get up into the higher lobbies and ranked play, probably gets pretty bad, and it's like, you know, they all push as a team, or they nade certain spots, or stun certain areas. So when you get into that, I'm sure you notice it more, but playing against people like lower skill level that we were in, it was never an issue not having one.
Yeah, for sure. Tanner already touched on this next point. Only 2 guns are viable, the Automaton and the MP40. That's the only guns I literally ever saw, except for one exception. And this is not surprising. This is kind of how CDL always has been and always will be in every single game since the very first CDL tournament. The very first official CDL game that took place fucking 20 years ago or whatever, people probably used only 2 guns, maybe 3 if snipers actually mattered back then. Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah.
So this is not surprising. However, the surprising thing about 2 rather than 3 is that no one does snipe. So one game there was a guy sniping on the other team. We fucked that team, by the way. I don't know what sniper he was using, but we rolled them. I don't know if sniping just isn't good or if we just happen to not see people sniping in our games or what. I don't know how often people snipe in actual CDL and Vanguard. I have no idea. I don't know what the meta sniper would be. Yeah, but snipers, I mean, they did recently get buffed in Vanguard because they're underperforming, which is true in pubs, and it's definitely also true in CDL. We saw literally 1 person sniping 1 game out of 3 hours, so that should tell you something. Do you remember that guy? It was on Bocage.
I don't even know if I ever died to him. I remember you talking about it, that there was someone sniping, but it's I don't think I...
He killed me once.
Saw him that often.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, so those are the only 2 guns that are usable, and in my opinion, the MP40 is so much worse. And I think I've seen... You know, it's like I follow some CDL players on Twitter because I like just have for a while. And so I see all of their shit. And I think on a lot of the maps, they basically run 4 ARs or 3 ARs versus like 2 and 2. Because the MP40 is like so much worse than the auto. The auto kills at like 3 bullets at any range, it seems, and the MP40 kills at 3 bullets up close, but it's also a much slower fire rate. And then when you get out further distances, it's taking like 5 or 6 bullets, and the auto just feels like you're killing the same person. You're killing the person just as fast if they're 5 feet away or 100 feet away. So yeah. I don't know. I tried using the MP40 numerous times, couldn't get into it. It's even like the way the movement speeds work in Vanguard, because the movement's so fast, you don't even feel any faster with an MP40. I honestly don't know if you are. Like you move so fast with the auto that it doesn't, that kind of takes away the benefit of it. I feel like that's usually one big thing with SMGs is faster mobility, but I didn't really feel that in this. They felt so similar to me.
What I noticed with it, because I was liking the MP40 a lot more than the Automaton most of the time, because yeah, the movement speed doesn't feel much faster, if at all. I'm sure it probably is
it's probably faster. A little faster, but it's not very
but it's not that noticeable. Yeah, I agree. But what I did notice a lot about the MP40, the advantage it has, is the sprint out and ADS times are very noticeably faster. And that's why I was doing a lot better with it, I think, is because, you know, I'd turn a corner or whatever, and someone would be right there, and I could, like, get my first bullet on them sooner.
With the MP40, you're saying?
Yes, because the sprint out and the ADS time were very noticeably faster for me. And I really liked that.
That is true, yeah.
Yeah, the downside, though, is exactly what you were saying. The damage fall off is extremely noticeable on the MP40, especially with the CDL rule set where you don't have like recoil booster, or maybe you don't even have that barrel that increases your damage range. like you do in pubs. I don't know. I just set up whatever the meta thing was. I was absolutely losing gunfights. I would have won if I had an automaton when I had my MP40, because I was like, okay, yeah, that I thought that guy would be dead by now. Like, I landed a lot of bullets and he's still not dead.
Yeah.
So you definitely notice the damage fall off with the MP40 in CDL. So I think the advantage is, yeah, up close, way faster sprint to fire in ADS time. At least from my perspective. Not way faster, but noticeably faster.
The auto does have really, really bad sprint to fire when you're caught tack sprinting. Like, it is extremely slow. But luckily, tack sprint in Vanguard takes a minute and a half to reset. So usually you don't get caught doing that because you never have it anyways. But even the regular sprint to fire is pretty slow.
Yeah. But regardless, I kind of like the balance here as far as I can tell, because they both they're distinct guns. And it's like, yeah, you're not going to see, I mean, sometimes you'll see people using 4 ARs, but there are definitely reasons to run the SMG, and that's good. Because you wouldn't want a ranked mode where literally everyone uses the same gun on every map for every playlist. And we didn't see that here. So that's cool.
Yeah, and that's, like you're saying about the ranked play, that just is how it is. That's how it was in MW. That's how it was in Cold War. They find the 2 best guns with the best attachments. That's all anybody runs. In MW 2019, it was the M4 and the MP5, I believe. I think those are the only 2 guns you ever saw. I don't know. I think they used the AX50. I feel like the car was like banned or something. I don't know. But yeah, not a lot of snipers in that game either from what it seems. Cold War, I have no idea. But yeah, it's like even all the way back when I played COD 4, there was literally 2 guns everyone had. It was the AK-74 and the AK-47. And then there'd usually be like a sniper on each team. So it's like you find the best guns because it's competitive play and you can't afford to test anything out. So you use the meta attachments and everyone uses those meta guns and attachments.
Yeah. For sure. Is there an unranked CDL rule set playlist in Vanguard?
Ooh, I don't know.
I'm going to check.
I don't think there... Oh.
I'll check right now because I'm curious. But anyways, and we'll let you guys know. I'm just checking right now. That is that point. So yeah, the only 2 guns are viable, but that's always the case with ranked, and that's not surprising. And there's literally nothing Activision could do about it, even if they wanted to. There's going to be a best AR for ranked play, and then everyone's going to use that because rating is on the line. It's that simple. There's nothing any video game can ever do to stop this. Yeah. It's always the case in ranked for any game, even. In WoW, there's a meta fucking talisman. Every single person uses it, and it's that simple. Yeah. So that's not Activision's fault. It's fine. And if you're not playing ranked for variety, you're playing to win. So.
Exactly.
Tanner, what is this next point?
Where were we at here? Okay, so I broke ranked mode. So if you guys play ranked play, stop what you're doing. Listen to me. This is the meta strat. You will never lose a gunfight ever again in ranked play. You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
I call it the prone strat.
Uh-oh.
It breaks ranked mode. CDL, I broke it wide open. I've already been in their DMs. I'm DMing Optic players. I'm saying, yo, go prone, man. Go prone. It'll throw people off. So that's, Tanner Prone Shot. That's my new name. I'm breaking ranked play. Here's what you do. You're playing hardpoint, right? They're expecting, let's say you're playing a hardpoint on, what's that map? What's this? Hold on. Hardpoint on Tuscan. So... Okay. There's like the typical corners and head glitches people sit on, right? Everyone checks them, they nade them, they stun them, they pre-fire them. They don't look anywhere else. Is what you do. You go to the hard point, find the most obvious spot, just zero cover, the middle of nowhere, prone your character. You lay down, you watch the sight lines where they're coming, they walk around the corner, they're already ADS looking up, they don't even see you. Their gun view, you are blocked by their gun view. They don't see you. What do? I dump them. They don't expect it. Some dude was in VoIP saying, dude, this guy keeps drop shotting. Hey, buddy, I'm not drop shotting. You can't in Vanguard. I've been laying prone for 40 seconds, killing your whole team. No one ever thinks to look at the ground, ever. I did this so many times. I'm not kidding. I probably got 20, 25 kills while I was prone. No one hit me once with a bullet, ever. They don't look. They don't look. Also, ranked play is mostly controller players. So if I'm crouched or standing or moving, they're going to get aim assist drag on me. But they come around, they're looking chest level, expecting someone to be standing in a corner. There I am. Hey, I'm laying prone, ADS'd at you, buddy. With my auto, I kill you in 3 bullets. One time, all 4 of them ran around the same corner, like 2 seconds apart, 3 seconds apart, sprayed them all down. Every single one of them. No one ever thought to look at the ground. Then they're like, oh shit, this guy's going prone. So then you mix it up. You go to another random spot they wouldn't expect on the hard point, lay down, you shoot them from there. It's the strat to lose. It worked every single time. No one ever looks at the ground. I'm telling you guys, if you play ranked mode, you got to try the prone strat, man. It works. We're going to break CDL wide open with this strat.
It definitely is an advantage against controller, too.
I'm on the phone with Optic Hex right now, telling him the strat, telling his boys to use it.
Dude, I wonder how high the rating would have to be for that to stop working, if ever. Because it sounds dumb as fuck, but it's basically a free kill on the first guy, even at the highest rating, probably every time. Because you're not going to get good aim assist on someone who's prone. You're not going to think some asshole is just lying down in the middle of the
middle of nowhere. Cover. Pick the worst spot on the map, lay prone there.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, so you guys could try it, I guess.
And you can blame Sledgehammer for that, because if I could just drop shot, I wouldn't be doing that. But since you can't drop shot in this game, I have to just lay prone for minutes waiting for someone. Yeah. So thanks, Sledgehammer.
Sure. So that's the strat, yeah. My strat, and I have a higher rating than Tanner. Okay. My strat was to like just shoot them before they shot me. That worked really well for me. So you guys could try that too.
Yeah, killing them before they kill you.
Yeah, shoot them before they shoot you.
Yeah, that is a good strat. I didn't think about that one.
Yeah,
so nice.
Next point. I don't know if this has been true always for CDL. I don't know if it's true in actual CDL or just in ranked play or what. But you get kill cams. So you don't get kill cams in hardcore, but you get kill cams in the ranked mode of the game. Cool. Got it.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
And in these kill cams, you can see like their teammates' locations, which is really dumb, especially on search. So it's like, I'll go A, die, watch the kill cam, and I'll see where that guy was and where his entire team is a lot of times in the kill cam. Because it not only shows like the cam, so if the guy's in his on his screen, you'd see him obviously, but it shows like the name of the teammate. So it's like, oh yeah, the whole team is on A except this guy. So if someone kills him, you guys can just free plant at B right now. And like that's a strat actually, is like watch kill cams and make sure you tell your teammates, especially in search. This is really fucking dumb. I don't know why this is a feature. There should not be kill cams in any ranked mode ever. And I don't know if this is unique to Vanguard or not. If anyone in chat has ever played CDL ranked or has watched CDL in the past for older games, are there always kill cams and why? It seems incredibly stupid to me.
I'm almost positive there wasn't kill cams. There's not kill cams in CDL Pro League. Yeah, I don't think there is, because there's a bunch of like Codcaster or another settings and shit, I believe, that they get. So there's no way there's kill cams. If there is, it's even a bigger joke of a league. There's no way there is. Lag, are you still here? Can you tell us, are there kill cams in CDL? I don't think there is. But yeah, that's something I just didn't even think about. It just felt like I was playing Vanguard. Yeah, there was kill cams. What the fuck?
It's super dumb.
That's stupid. Yeah, there shouldn't be kill cams. Are you sure they were in search too? I could see them being in like respawn modes, but in oh my god, were they?
I'm almost positive.
Yeah, I just never thought about it.
Yeah, I'm almost positive.
Yeah, because I remember saying a few times early on, like, oh god, I don't even want to watch the kill cams. And then you said like, oh yeah, you can skip them, duh, or something, because there's like a slight respawn delay in like hardpoint or whatever. And you're like, oh yeah, I can just skip the kill cams. So yeah, they're yeah. Holy shit, man. Yeah, that's insane. Stupid. That does not belong in a competitive playlist.
when you played overseas, were there kill cams?
No, of course not.
No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Things made sense back then.
Yeah. Things made sense. Yeah.
There were no $25 million leagues, so things made a lot more sense.
Yeah. So anyway, let us know if there are kill cams in CDL. I think it's silly, but whatever. What is this next point, Tanner? This next observation here.
Okay, so playing ranked mode did make me realize, which this is something I think we've said early on with Vanguard, is at its core, Vanguard is a really good game. It honestly is. Most of the issues that we complain about is because they don't fucking update anything, and they don't fix the bugs, they don't fix basic things that should have been fixed a long time ago. But at its core, it is a good game. It's just ruined by, like every Call of Duty game, it'll be good at its core, and it's ruined by a few shit things. Like,
yep.
Have the gunplay and ranked play was excellent because you're not being spammed with grenades. There's not dogs running around that I have to deal with shooting. Someone's pushing me with the flame knot, and they're throwing 3 stuns at me, and there's a gunship in the air, you know? That's, for me, like the best part about a ranked mode is getting rid of all of that dog shit cheese. 0 grenade spam, 0 streak spam. People very rarely got streaks. We'll get into that a little bit more. The gunplay is very nice. It felt really good, and I remember saying that when we were streaming. I was like, man, this is like, it feels good to just have like actual gunfights, because that usually doesn't happen in Vanguard. Like, you don't have one-on-one gunfights. It's either you're being sprayed through a wall with piercing vision, FMJ
Yeah.
Whitley, where you can shoot through 8 walls, or yeah, like I said, you're trying to fight someone, and then their 6 dogs come and start gnawing on your ankles, and you have to shoot them before you can shoot anyone else. So, you know, I know, obviously, kill streaks are a big part of Call of Duty, but it's really nice to get away from them and not have to deal with any of that shit. It's fantastic. So it makes you realize that Vanguard at its core, the game is good. It's just shit playlists, shit perks, shit grenades, lethal spam, stuff like that ruin it. You know, the time to kill is obviously too fast in this game. You do notice that in ranked play quite a bit, but getting rid of all the other cheese is a very nice change of pace, and it makes Vanguard a lot more enjoyable because it makes you realize those things, that it's not the game that's bad, it's a bunch of things within the game and choices they've made.
Yep. Totally agree. I will also add the TTK is too fast, but it is slower in ranked play. Because, you know, an automaton without recoil booster still does not kill me as fast as a buck and slug combat shotgun, which is 0 milliseconds, or as fast as a well gun, or as fast as a Whitley with recoil booster, the rapid fire barrel, and the Big Chungus 50 BMG round 200 magazine that kills in 2 bullets at any range. So, yeah, the TTK is still too fast, but it's not as fast as even pubs, which is fun because there are some actual gunfights. And another part of the reason there are actual gunfights is it's 4v4 rather than, you know, 6v6 or 8v8 or 10v10 or 12v12. So it's like, if you see one guy, it's fairly likely that's the only guy and it's just you, and figure it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was quite fun too. It did feel like an actual shooter game, which was interesting and novel.
Yeah, so sure. Some of the maps 4 seems like way too little. Like Desert Siege, 4v4 is, I think, a little slow, but when it comes to competitive mode, I do think that's how it's supposed to be. You're not just supposed to rush in, you're supposed to make smart decisions, figure out where you're going to go, things like that. So yeah, I think 4s did play really well, you're right.
Yeah. It makes me think about what BO4 ranked play must have been like, with how slow the time to kill was there. God, that must have been fun. That must have been so fucking fun.
Yeah.
Like 4v4, BO4 time to kill, restricting all the dog shit weapons. There were still operator abilities, unfortunately, in ranked, but still, besides those, that would have been really fun. So anyway. Yeah, I agree with this last point, Tanner. Tell us about it. Oh
yeah. What's up with this? Where were all the shit talkers?
I know.
I mean, I tried to get it started early on. No one would shit talk back. Like, hardly anyone was VoIPing. Like, the most toxic people we had was the guy complaining about us drop shotting, which you can't do in Vanguard. And it was really just me laying prone. It's like, bro, this guy keeps drop shotting. No, I'm not, buddy. I've been here. I've been laying here for a while now. I've been napping. So that was pissing me off. Maybe at the higher levels it gets real toxic, but even after, like, I mean, people said like, oh, like GG, nice shot and shit to us. I'm like, what are you doing, man? I don't want this. I want hatred. I want you guys to be angry at me. I want you to call us fucking nerds. I want you to tell us our podcast is shit. I want you to say all of that. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for nice people. I wouldn't play Call of Duty if I wanted nice people, you know? So yeah, that was super toxic. Even after like one of the games, I tried to get some people going when we barely beat a team, and I did the old classic. I held down my in-game voice and I was like, "Yeah, you guys are right. That was a bot lobby," and no one responded. No one wanted to shit talk back, man. We even played the same squad, I think 2 or 3 matches in a row, even though the lobbies don't stay together. It kept forming us back together, and they wouldn't shit talk, man.
Yeah,
so that was unfortunate to see.
I agree. There was some shit talk, but we had to instigate all of it. And a lot of it was just in text. This was annoying. This was frustrating too. Because Call of Duty ranked play, I expected to see the most toxicity here. But if you want to get shit talkers in Call of Duty, I guess the best place to go is pub search and destroy.
Modern Warfare pub search and destroy. That's toxic right there.
I think any search and destroy for any game, but yeah. Pub's search was way more shit talking toxic than ranked play, which really pissed me off. It was really unfortunate.
Yeah.
And it was really toxic because like that was one of the main things I was looking forward to. Was people malding and talking shit, and it just didn't happen nearly enough.
You guys got to talk
It was very
shit,
frustrating.
Man.
Very frustrating. So make sure you guys are talking shit and plugging the podcast if you're playing ranked, because that's what makes it fun.
Exactly.
Obviously. So now we're going to talk about some of the things we disliked about ranked play in Vanguard ranked play. Obviously. Hold on. I'm trying to write down a little item here. I made a tip section if you have any. So some of this shit pisses me off, said Tanner, but it isn't really the fault of ranked mode. It's the fault of CDL making a ridiculous rule set. Tell us more, Tanner.
Yeah. So, I just don't get it, man. So stuns are allowed in ranked mode, which ruins your mobility, makes it so you can't turn as well, fucks up your hearing. But for some reason, smoke grenades are banned. Why? There's no reason to ever use smoke grenade in pubs. The one time smokes could come in handy is in a ranked playlist, and they're banned. I just don't understand it. It's like, so something that does no damage or ruin the mobility is banned, but stuns are not. Because I swear, like in MW 2019 lag, weren't there smoke grenades? I feel like I remember seeing clips of them using smoke grenades. They're a very viable. I mean, think of that's a viable option every ranked game you can think of. Really, it's like, you know, you use them. Those are huge in Counter-Strike and shit. You know, you can smoke off certain areas. It's so weird to me that smoke grenades were banned. It is the absolute backwards of what I would think would be competitive. That you're allowed to use stuns, but not smoke grenades. And this goes along with what I always think about the CDL. I think the league is a joke, frankly. It doesn't seem competitive. I don't understand the choices they make. It's just insane. So it's like, everything is like backwards from how it was back when I played comp in COD 4. Like you couldn't use like stuns or flashes or anything like that. That shit was all banned, of course. The only thing you can use was like a frag grenade, and you got one of them as well. And you used smoke grenades. So like if you're trying to plant or trying to defuse, you can throw smokes, and you can throw a smoke and go for a fake defuse. You can go for a smoke and try to hold the defuse. You can do all of these strats with them that provide more potential outplay, but it's just banned. And I can't think of a reason why. There's some reason they have for it, I'm sure, but I can't figure it out.
According to this document of the rules, smokes are supposed to be allowed. I think, like Lag is saying, there's some kind of bug with them on CDL ranked play mode where they took them out and they just haven't added them back yet. but they're intended to be in the game. As
Okay,
they
good.
should be, like you said. Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, so since that's a bug, and that's probably a bug that Sledgehammer has to take care of, smokes will not be in competitive play at all this year for sure. That'll never get fixed.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, $25 million buy-in. No, this has to be a minimum $30 million team buy-in if you want that shit fixed. It could be something to do with the optics, because some of the optics get all messed. No, because they don't. All those optics are banned anyways. Who knows? Who knows what it is?
Yeah,
but okay, that makes a lot more sense then, because smokes provide a huge lot of potential in ranked play, and it's fun to see how you use them, because it's like, you have like set frags off rip that you can throw. There's like set smokes you can throw to block off certain angles. Like, that's what you gotta. There's so many strats you can come up with, though. So that sucked not having those. I'm glad to see they are intended to be in, because that made 0 sense to me. So okay, that's good.
Yeah, that is good.
I mean, stun shouldn't be allowed at all, though. I think they should just have no tactical right now. I mean, stuns aren't overpowered in Vanguard like they were in Enda, but still, it's like, why? This is a competitive game mode. That shit should not be in there at all.
If anything, I feel like you should allow flash instead of stun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I agree.
I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I agree that smokes would have been really fun to play with when we played.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, there's so many mind games and outplay potential and cool plays you can make with smokes that we just couldn't experiment with.
Yeah,
search.
like,
it really sucks.
Like back in COD 4, like if you're playing Crash or some shit like that, you would like fake smoke one lane so they can't see it, so you think you're all pushing up, so then they start rotating over to that side thinking you're pushing through the smoke, and then really you're all crabbing the other way and going to the other bomb site, and then they've split and there's forward looking the lane with all the smoke and there's no one there. So it's like you can do a lot of cool things with that. So ranked play would be a lot better, and those get added into. That'll be fun.
Yeah, hopefully it does. Yeah, for sure. So
yeah, if ever.
Yeah, next is the maps. So first of all, the weight of certain maps is like higher than others, which is annoying. We saw Desert Siege a lot. We saw Tuscan, I think, more than anything. Tuscan is just not that good of a map. It's not fun. Desert Siege, I actually like Search on Desert Siege. I thought that played pretty well. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, it did. You're right.
For Search, anyway. I don't think we ever played it on anything other than Search. So I don't know if it's possible to get like Hardpoint, Desert Siege, and CDL ranked, because we never did.
Yeah.
But Tuscan was my least favorite map of these.
I thought Tuscan
or Gavutu.
Tuscan Hardpoint was fun. Tuscan Hardpoint, I think, was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, did we get Desert Siege?
Tuscan
I think we got Search
terrible.
every single time.
Yeah, I think so too.
Tuscan Search.
I don't remember anything else.
Wasn't great. One of the things too with Tuscan on Hardpoint was the spawns were rough. Because of the way the map is laid out, it's like they spawn you. One of the hills will be on the other side of the map, and so if you die on that hill and your team has spawns flipped that way, you spawn all the way on the opposite side. So then you have to run. It's not that far, but the way the map is designed, the way you have to run to go through certain lanes, or like run through the church or go through the other building, it takes a long time to get there. And then if you just run up and get killed again, you're spawning all the way back there. And in 4v4, that could be kind of frustrating. It's hard to take hills like that because they just feel so far away. And I really noticed that on Tuscan more than anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Gavutu is just a dog shit awful map that isn't fun. That boat is way too overpowered. This is something I fucking said in the beta, I think. If not in the beta, certainly in the first week of release, where it's just such a one-sided map. If you control boat and you're on that head glitch, you won the game. And that was the case. Like, we got control Gavutu a lot. And even Hardpoint Gavutu, the good teams would just have some AR, some guy with an automaton, just sit on the nasty fucking head glitch of Gavutu boat by the AA gun on the boat and just rape. And there's just not much you can do to take them off.
Yeah.
Especially in ranked play when everyone's sweating and trying super hard, and you take like the nastiest tiny little vulnerability spot to peek people from. That was super dog shit too.
Yeah.
So didn't like that, and didn't like how much we got Tuscan, mainly. We saw Bocage, I think 2 times or 3 times. Would have loved to see that map more, because it's actually a good map. What other maps are there?
Did you say Berlin?
We got literally once.
Berlin Hardpoint. That was fun, actually.
That was fun, and I think we got Berlin twice, maybe.
Yeah, and
but not enough.
Berlin is way too big, but it actually played okay. I swear the spawns in Berlin on Hardpoint, you spawn closer to the hill, even though the map is twice the size as you spawn on Tuscan. So I don't know. It never really seemed too big, because all the fighting was going on at the hills, obviously.
I think it's a lot harder for a map to be too big for these CDL playlists. Like, I don't think the map size matters that much when you're playing. Like, when you're playing Search, it doesn't really matter at all. When you're playing Control, it matters depending on how they do the spawns. But it doesn't matter as much, because the spawns aren't going to always make you spawn in your initial spawn point. So then the map size doesn't matter that much. And then for Hardpoint, kind of the same thing. It's like, you're not spawning too far. Like you just said. Like Tuscan, maybe you don't spawn that far in Hardpoint, but like the route you have to take because of the layout, you have to run for quite a while. It's like your time away from the hill is way more important than your actual distance from the hill as the crow flies.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I think it's kind of hard for a map to be too big in the CDL playlist, just because of what the modes are. So my issue with like Tuscan, for example, isn't even that it's too big. It's just that it's too dog shit. I don't know. But the bigger point I'm making is that the distribution of maps is dumb. It's not random. If there are 6 maps, your odds of getting one particular map is not 1 out of 6. It just isn't. We saw Tuscan too many times for that to be the case. It would be too much of a statistical anomaly. So the weighting is fucked. And unfortunately, the highest weighted maps appear to be the worst ones, which are Tuscan and Gavutu, which we saw a lot of. So I don't know why. Just great. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Like if it was mostly Bocage, I'd be like, yeah, we played Bocage like more than any other map, but that's fine because it's the best one anyway. So I don't know what the fuck's going on, man.
Did we ever get Demyonks? I think we did.
I'm gonna look at the list of maps.
Yeah, I'm trying to find an actual full ranked list, and I can't even find it.
Okay, so here are the maps. It depends on the game mode. So for Search, Tuscan, Bocage, Desert Siege, Berlin, and Demyansk, which we did not get Demyansk.
That would have been great. That's I think the best map in the game.
Insanely fun.
Yeah.
Hardpoint, Tuscan, Bocage, Gavutu, Berlin, Desert Siege. And then Control, Tuscan, and Gavutu. That explains why we saw Tuscan and Gavutu so much, because they're the only 2 maps for one of the 3 game modes. Now I get it. Okay. So I don't know why they did that. One of the 3 possible game modes, you can only get 2 maps for.
Yikes.
So it probably does it like it randomizes the game mode.
Wait, that's for Control?
And then after that, yeah. And then after that, it randomizes the map.
I wonder.
So you have a way higher percentage chance of getting Tuscan because that's the only map that's in all 3 game modes. That's why we saw Tuscan so much. Now I get it.
I wonder if if there's not that many Control maps because Control was added to Vanguard post-launch. So maybe it's like they need to do things to more maps in order to get that. But again, if you have a Call of Duty League, then why would it? I don't know. But again, maybe the players and teams decide on this shit and they're just like, oh, all the other maps play terrible on Control. We only want these 2. That could be it. I don't know.
Yeah, true. Okay, well, that explains a lot. So now we know why. Still, that's unfortunate. Fuck Tuscan.
Yeah.
It's not fun. Okay, let's see.
And that was kind of like my next point, basically, which we just essentially talked about. It's like the lobbies technically break up after every game. Like I said, we played the same squad maybe 3 times or something, 2 or 3 times. But yeah, so you end up like playing the same map over and over again, or even the same game mode over. Like I swear at one point we got Desert Siege Search twice in a row in queuing. And so that's kind of the issue. It's like, I know lobbies can't stay together in a ranked mode, really, because it's like, if you beat their team by a lot, they're going to drop in skill rating. You're going to go up in skill ratings. Then you may not be able. You maybe shouldn't be matched against each other. But it just sucks at that point, because then you can get the same map in the same mode numerous times in a row, since it has to form a new lobby, and since it's putting you against a new team, maybe they haven't played Desert Siege Search at all that day, so then you get put in that again, even though you literally just played it. But there's really, I guess, there's no way around that. Not that I can think of. There would need to be, I think, a lot more people playing ranked mode in order for like the algorithm to work out so that you not get the same map and mode twice in a row. But there's just not that much of a player base for it, so it's impossible, I guess. Yep. So that's annoying, but it's really not the fault of anyone there.
I think if they just added, so like Search and Hardpoint, there are 5 maps possible. For Control, there's only 2. So if they had 5 possible maps for Control also, then I think you could see a lot more variety. But when one of the 3 game modes is only 2 possible maps, you're going to see them all the time. That's why, which makes perfect sense that it's Tuscan and Gavutu. So I feel like we saw those a lot. So yeah, they just need to add more maps to Control. That would help a lot, I think. So hopefully they do. We'll see.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised some of these other maps aren't in there. Like, I would almost think Hotel Royal would be a map for like Hardpoint or something.
Yeah.
Same thing with like
Eagle's Nest.
Eagle's Nest, I thought would have been a competitive one. I could even see like Oasis Search actually being kind of good. That's a terrible map, but maybe like something, maybe on Search that may play well when it's not, you're not constantly trying to cross over mid. It's like, you know, you make one push across mid, or I don't know. I feel like that may play well, and that's not a competitive map either, but who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we'll see how that pans out. But anyway.
Yeah. Another thing here that I disliked was they weren't overpowered, but I just don't see why we need kill streaks. You know, you only get Strafe Run and Glide Bomb, but it's like, it's competitive mode. If I get 15 kills without dying, cool. I don't think I should even be rewarded with a kill streak that I can call in. Especially like, so you can call in a Glide Bomb and Search and Destroy. Is that how that works? I never got one in Search, but we got streaks on like respawn game modes, and it's like that takes any sort of competitive integrity out of a competitive playlist and mode and league, in my opinion. Doesn't make any sense. Again, COD staple having kill streaks, I don't think it belongs in a competitive mode whatsoever, though. You should not be rewarded for getting 5 kills without dying and then getting a Glide Bomb. I don't know. I just don't like that. Should not be in the game at all, in my opinion. In ranked,
I kind of agree. I think kill streaks in a competitive context would make sense if there was competitive team deathmatch, because then you would be rewarding a player for accomplishing the particular objective of that match very well, and that would make sense. But like getting 5 kills in a row in Search and Destroy, you could lose 5 rounds in a row and then go on and also be on a 5 kill streak. You shouldn't get rewarded for that because you're not accomplishing the objective of that match necessarily by getting 5 kills without dying. It would really only make sense to give kill streaks, in my opinion, if there was ranked TDM, which there should never be anyway. So I'm with you. I think kill streaks are pretty dumb. Luckily, they are dog shit kill streaks, though, particularly Strafe Run. But Glide Bomb's pretty good because it gives you intel on where everyone is.
Exactly. So like if you're in like a competitive game, you're saying in like the CDL Grand Finals, it's 5-5, the last match to win $100,000. It's 1 versus 1. You planted the bomb. You're telling me if I have a Glide Bomb, I can call that shit in and find out where the guy is on the map just from calling in a Glide Bomb? There's no competitive integrity behind that. It does not belong in a playlist. Again, just another one of the 100 reasons I think CDL is a dog shit competitive league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So there you go.
Oh yeah. This was another small thing I noticed. We need longer pre-round timers, especially in something like Search and Destroy. Yeah, I think CDL, they probably give them a longer timer, but in this, it's like, from when the match is over, it shows like the final kill cam. You have like 3 seconds before the actual game starts. Your character's there, the countdown starts. It's like 3 or 5 seconds. It's not long enough. Like back for the COD 4 mods we had, you would literally get like 30 seconds between rounds in Search, so you can think of and plan strats. So it's like, in this shit, 3 seconds, and it's like, what are we doing? No one even knows. No one knows where to go. There's no time to talk about anything. And it's like, the only time something like that matters is in a ranked play, where you actually want to try this shit and try to do strats and stuff, and there's just no time to think about it. It's pretty much like, rush B. There's like no thought process that can go into it because they don't give you enough time. That's, I think, what's fun about competitive games is like, if you have enough of a timer, you can be like, okay, I'm gonna smoke this off. You 3 push A, I'm gonna grab bomb, I'm gonna sneak around, I'm gonna go B side, you guys flank through me. But it's like, you don't have time to do anything. It's like, okay, we're spawning back in, run and kill people. It like doesn't feel like Search, like you have to put any thought into it, because you just get moving right away and there's no time to talk about it. So I really thought that felt weird. But to each their own there. I don't think most people would find that annoying, but I thought that was kind of stupid.
I never thought about it, but I think you're right. I think 30 seconds would be too long for online ranked. Even if it's ranked, if it's online, it isn't that serious, and I don't want 30 seconds, because then if you get Search, it's going to take you fucking 3 times as long as if you got hard.
In like
10 seconds would be good.
I think 10 to 15 seconds in like public ranked mode would be great.
Yeah, I think that's a good
compromise. I don't want 30 in like public. If you're playing with randoms, they're probably not thinking or talking anyways. That's too long. But in pub ranked, I think 10 to 15 seconds even will make a massive difference. Give you a little time to chill out,
Yeah, for sure. All right, now we're going to talk about what we liked. And this is a list. So first, the fact that it's 4v4. I like this a lot. And this is actually particularly noteworthy because different COD games have had different team sizes between games. Mm-hmm. So in some games, I think the biggest it ever was 5v5. Maybe 6v6.
No, it's only been up to 5s.
So okay. So it's only been 5s or 4s. A lot of people, and we covered this actually quite a few months ago. CDL players talking about, I don't know which game it was, but they were like, we need to go back to 4v4 ranked instead of 5v5.
MW had 5s, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that is maybe when we covered
those maps in general were a lot bigger. So it made more sense for that game. CDL players didn't like it.
Yeah. And I agree with what the CDL players had said at the time, which is like, and what spectators were saying when this conversation was happening was like 5v5, there are fewer like crazy clutch plays that people like go crazy about, like the 1v4s. Because getting a 1v5 in the actual CDL, it's just never happening. I mean, if anyone can link me a clip in MDub's entire CDL season of someone getting a 1v5, I'll be very surprised, because I don't think it happened.
It probably happened once or twice, but it's not common.
But it seems just so unlikely. But in 4s, it is possible. But way more importantly than that, obviously, because even in 4s, that's going to be rare, a 1v4. More importantly than that, the smaller the team size, the more each person's performance matters, and the more each kill and death matters. Because in 5s, if you kill someone, you've killed 20% of the team. Or if you've died, you've lost 20% of your team. But in 4s, it's 25%. That's big. That's really big, actually. And playing 4v4, especially when we played ranked play, playing 4s, compared to what we normally play, which is like tactical or blitz pacing, fucking team deathmatch on DOS House, where kills and deaths don't matter at all. There's always someone there, right?
Yeah, doesn't matter.
But like in 4v4, ranked play, all of a sudden, it was like, damn, these team sizes are small. And if I get a pick, That's really fucking good for my team. And that's a massive swing. And if I die, that's really fucking bad. And that was really cool. It felt like every single kill and every single death mattered a lot in every game mode on every map. And that was super fun because it made again, it made getting kills or dying matter a lot. And you could noticeably immediately change the pace of a match by just getting a pick. It's like, oh fuck yes, let's go, dude. Let's go. This
it's like
game.
getting that first kill in search in 4s is a lot bigger deal than getting the first pick in search if it's 5s. Yeah,
exactly.
I never understood why exactly CDL players didn't like it. I don't think any of them ever gave reasons. They just always said 5 sucks, 4 is better. So I don't know what they really thought the reasons were, but yeah, I don't know. 4's played fine in Vanguard. I thought it's hard to kind of guess and think how 5s would have actually played, because we can't compare that. But 4's felt just about perfect on all of these maps. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was really fun.
Yeah,
I had a really good time. Mm-hmm. Because it was 4s. Again, like we said earlier, another thing we liked is that the time to kill is slower than pubs. In general, I'm not dying again to Whitleys in 2 bullets. I'm not dying to shotguns. I'm not getting stabbed. You can get stabbed in ranked, but no one does it. Never happened to me. And there's no recoil booster. And there's no incendiary rounds. There's no cheesy dumb shit like that. There's no piercing vision. So the lack of all of the cheese shit, plus the biggest thing, the lack of recoil booster, makes the time to kill fairly noticeably longer, in my opinion. Not always. There are definitely times where you just get like 1 frame fucked and there was nothing you could do. But that happens a lot less in ranked play than in pubs. And another reason that is it feels like the time to kill is slower is because you are rarely getting shot by more than one person because it's 4s. So if you're playing 4s on Desert Siege, big map, and you're getting shot, it's probably just one guy. So if you can get cover, you're probably fine. And that's not true in pubs at all. So functionally, the time to kill felt actually a lot slower than pubs because you're rarely getting team shot. And if you are getting shot by one person, they don't have recoil booster or cheesy dog shit. And that made gunfights feel like actual gunfights most of the time. And that was really fucking fun too, and really cool. And it felt like a shooter game.
Yeah.
Rather than a cheese fiesta getting shit on by flame knots and gammon bombs. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. We were just talking about that in chat a little while ago, actually, how gammon bombs are dog shit in normal core, but if you go play hardcore, you throw a gammon bomb anywhere on the map and you get 6 kills, including out of those 6 kills, 3 of them are your teammates, and it's just they've never fixed any of that. It's crazy. Yeah, so that's I think the biggest thing is it's fun to play a game, a first-person shooter where you only use your guns because
shoot. Yeah.
It's like you have 1 stun, 1 frag to use, and you're not gonna get any more, and so you have to really think about where you throw those. Like when we were playing Tuscan Hardpoint, there was a kid that obviously watches a lot of CDL, plays a lot of ranked mode, and I died to him twice by frag grenades on the hill, and he'd be on the other side of the map and knew exactly where to throw it, So it's like shit like that is cool because there's a learning curve for him to know where to throw that exactly to land where he's trying to make it to land, and he's not just someone spamming some nonsense like in pubs. It makes it feel just so much better actually having to like use your guns and have one-on-one gunfights and shoot people rather than pubs getting shot in the back constantly, getting shot from the side, fighting 3 people at once. It does feel like it's a lot of one-on-one, one-on-2 gunfights that are interesting and fun. And the time to kill is, it's still too fast, but it's higher where you actually can make those plays happen versus pubs. You just can't. You would just be, dead because you'd kill one of them, you get the second guy one shot, and then the last incendiary round from the first guy you killed would burn you alive and you'd be dead. So it's like you can't make any outplay for stuff like that, So it was very fun. Just basically, I always had my gun up, I always had my gun thinking about shooting, whereas in pubs, you're always thinking about like, oh, I need to call in this streak right now. I need to throw 3 incendiaries on B flag on DOS house.
Before I get bucking slugs from 40 meters.
Yeah. I need to come around this corner aiming at the ground because someone's going to be looking the other direction with a riot shield, and all I see is their feet, and that's all I can shoot at. So it was just so great playing COD with all of that shit gone, man. All of it gone.
Yeah.
Because I had talked shit about those people that said Vanguard was trash but were excited for ranked mode. And I still think those people are stupid because they still probably don't play it anyways. But it makes more sense now after playing it because it doesn't feel like Vanguard. It feels like, when you think of Call of Duty, it feels like Call of Duty and playing a multiplayer shooter,
Yeah, it feels like a more classic experience for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you level in ranked play? Like, do you get XP, Battle Pass XP, Operator XP, Weapon XP?
I don't think you get anything, no, which is what's unfortunate. It's like, none of it even tracks towards your camos or anything, I don't believe.
Yeah,
I don't think you can set camos. Like, if you have atomic gold and camos, you can set them, but I don't think you get progress for any of them.
I don't think so either, because I didn't see a single noti.
Yeah.
And I feel like I would have for something. Yeah. So, anyway.
Yeah.
Next thing I really liked. Your secondary, your pistol matters a lot. And this is something I just miss about shooter games in general. There once was a time where, like, you would need to use your pistol sometimes. And, like, it was a thing in Call of Duty that good players knew, which is that switching to your pistol, this used to be, how in loading screens, there are those on-screen tips?
Yeah.
Most games have this. And one of them in, like, MW 2, the original, not the one coming out this year, the one that came out 10 years ago. One of them was, it is always faster to switch to your pistol than it is to reload. That was one of the on-screen hints in MW 2.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was true. And that is one thing good players did that separated them, one of the things that separated them from trash players, was that a dogshit player would dump their Scar H mag, miss every bullet, and then panic, and then try to just prone in the open and reload
Prone trap.
while this guy is rolling up on them with his whatever gun. His Akimbo Model 1887.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not say MW was great, but it was something. And then you'd get shit on. But a good player in that circumstance would just switch to that thing, that Deagle or something, and dump that person. Because switching to the pistol is always faster than reloading.
Yeah.
This just doesn't matter in pubs. It hasn't mattered in pubs for, honestly, quite a while. It mattered a little bit in Cold War, actually. I definitely did have to do this sometimes in Cold War with my pistol, because overkill wasn't a gimme in Cold War. In MW 2019, it also sort of mattered, to be honest. Not as often, because the time to kill was so fast that you would either die or kill the guy before you ran out of ammo and had time to even switch to your pistol. You didn't. You either got the kill or died instantly because the time to kill was 2 frames.
Yeah.
But occasionally in MW, I would use my pistol. But in Vanguard and in Vanguard pubs, no one uses a pistol. I mean, what are we doing? They either have a riot shield on their back, or you're dying in 2 bullets to, again, piercing vision, Whitley, BMG, rapid fire, barrel, recoil booster, fucking muzzle device. And you don't have to switch to a pistol to reload because you have 200 rounds in your belt-fed light machine gun that kills in 2 bullets. That's 100 kills for you mathematicians out there. You don't have to reload ever.
Yeah.
The match will end first. So reloading just doesn't matter in when you're using that gun anyway. Switching to a pistol or a secondary doesn't matter in Vanguard pubs, but in Vanguard ranked, I had to keep that thing on me sometimes because there are no extended mags that anyone uses anyway in ranked play. They're either banned or dog shit. I don't know which. And there's also no overkill. You can't use overkill either. Or if you can, it's also dog shit. I don't know which. I think it's banned though. So there are times like the automaton, the meta setup is a 25 round mag. And reloading takes some time. It's not like particularly slow, but it's a normal reload time.
Yeah, it's fine.
And it's way faster to switch to your rat than it is to reload your automaton. So I got a number of kills with my rat because I'm terrible. I'd miss all my bullets and the guy wouldn't be dead. And then I would say, well, I don't have time to reload here. So I'm either going to get this with a pistol or I'm going to die. So I'd switch to that thing and I would get a kill or die. And that was really fun because that's another big skill gap element that separates really good players from not good players. Because if you are using it, first of all, you have to think to switch to the pistol rather than panic, run away, try to reload and get shot in the back while you're doing it. And then if you do switch to the pistol, you have to actually hit those bullets and you're going to be at a disadvantage because you're using a pistol. They're using an MP40 or an automaton.
Yeah.
So it's a big element of skill gap that I just miss from shooter games that is back in Vanguard ranked multiplayer that I had a lot of fun with. And I died to a pistol a couple times too. And it was really cool to see. And I really like the inclusion of the secondary. This might seem like a dumb point, but I think this is a big skill gap feature that I quite enjoyed in ranked play. Did you experience pistols at all?
Yeah, it wasn't often, but I did have to use them a couple times. I probably got 2 or 3 kills with them. And the Rat's such a good pistol that it's like,
it is.
You're not at that much of a disadvantage, honestly, because it kills so quick and it has, I mean, the ADS speed is like 5 milliseconds. It just ADSs immediately and it has an insane fire rate. So it is really, really good. But yeah, you do get put in those spots where, you know, like, my auto is completely dry. The reload's going to be a little bit longer. I assume this guy's right around the corner. He's probably going to be pushing me. I have to pull out my pistol and try to fight them off. Yeah, so it is fun having to, like, you know, think about those things and have it actually come into play where you're kind of forced to use it. Because, yeah, I mean, what's the point in even using a pistol in pubs? There's no reason to have one. You're going to be dead before you even get around to having to use it. So, because, I mean, you also don't get very much ammo in ranked. It's like with the auto, your mags hold 25 bullets and you get maybe 75 reserve. So like it's not a whole lot. So if you have like a streak going on like hardpoint or something, you can run out of ammo pretty damn quick where your secondary is actually going to come in handy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure. So I really like that. That might seem like a small point, but to me, that's one of the things you want to see in ranked play is more factors that contribute to the creation or expansion of a skill gap. And how to use a pistol and needing to be able to use one is one of them. Next is that, yeah, the CDL rule set is like super restrictive, like we talked about. And you really only see 2 guns, the MP40 and the automaton. Despite that, there's actually more variety in the CDL playlist than there is in pubs. Oops. Oopsies. Okay. Now you might be thinking, but wait, Raz, you only see 2 guns in CDL. But you can use whatever you want in like pubs, right? Yeah. But in pubs, all I see is riot shields on people's backs and MP40s. That's it. And you die in 1 frame to all of them. So even though there is ostensibly less variety in CDL ranked, it feels like there's more. Because everyone just uses the same shit in pubs. Particularly the fucking riot shield on the back. Do I do it? Of course I do. Because you have to. Because everyone else is doing it. And I don't want to get shot in the back. So I do it too. And I hate it. Take riot shields out of all shooter games really take them out. But still, it does very often feel like there's actually more variety, even though you only see 2 guns in the CDL rule set than there is in pubs. Like, I'm kind of joking, sort of. There is some variety in pubs sometimes, but it's not interesting variety. It's all just broken, insane shit. So if you're playing DOS House, you're going to see a ton of shotguns. Doesn't feel like very varied to me. And riot shields. And, on every other map, you're going to see a ton of MP40s with incendiary rounds and riot shields. Not a ton of variety. So it really does sometimes feel like there's more variety. It's kind of a tongue-in-cheek point, but yeah.
It's also hard to tell because in pubs, you don't ever die to guns. You die to everything besides guns. So it's like you don't even know what variety is going on. You get killed to thermites or the fire bullets after you already killed the person, or you get killed to a glide bomb and dog. So it's like you don't even know what gun they're using half the time because you're never dying to that. But it is just, if you play DOS House still right now, it is riot shields and shotguns still. Yep. I mean, gold shotguns, the person's never even leveled up another gun. They're still using a gold shotgun and a riot shield. It's just cringe and annoying. No one uses anything different. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, for sure. So, those are things we liked. And, we have a little bit more on that topic, but we're going to save it for the end. So now we're going to talk about a couple tips. A tip, really. We don't have too many. One tip I will start with is don't solo queue. There's tip number 1.
Yep.
At the very least, play with one other person. But ideally, you should play with a full stack. You have better comms that way. Your teammates will be better. They won't quit on you. We won a number of games by default just because people on the other team quit.
Yeah, it happened quite often. 1 or 2 people left on the other team.
One game we were surely going to lose, and then someone quit.
Yeah,
and
it was Hardpoint. I think it was Hardpoint Tuscan or something. We were able to come back.
Yep. Yeah. So we were absolutely going to lose that game. Someone quit on their team, and then we won. That's not going to happen if you're a 4-stack. If it is, it's because someone crashed, and that's unavoidable anyway. So tip number 1 is don't play solo, get friends. And if you don't have any, I know you don't, so I was just saying that to be polite. Join the fucking Discord. Go into the Call of Duty multiplayer looking for group channel and let everyone know, hey, I want to play ranked Vanguard with a squad. Here's when I play. Here's like how good I am or whatever. I like to use the automaton.
Like long
or the
walks
MP
on the beach
versus the MP40, margaritas and long walks on the beach.
Yeah.
Here's my
like
ID.
cocks.
Play with me or let me know.
Mate, I like cocks. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one thing to do. Join the Discord and find people to play with because it would be miserable to play solo.
Yeah. Terrible. I would never bother. Somebody in the Discord is actually saying that because we had said, we were kind of talking about in the Discord how we had fun playing ranked mode, and someone had said something about like, yeah, I didn't have fun, and I'm like, well, you're solo queue? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, yeah, you're never gonna have fun in a ranked mode if you're solo queuing. It's just not the same. You get stuck with toxic teammates. It's, it'll never be as good. For a ranked mode, you want people that you've played with or at least know aren't going to be super toxic if you like fuck up and make a mistake or something. Especially if you get up into those higher ranks, oh god, the randoms are probably insanely toxic. If you like don't clutch a search match or something, they're probably shit talking you. I'm sure it's terrible, really. So
probably.
Yeah.
The only way solo queuing ranked in any game is fun is if the mode is solo ranked, so you're not allowed to queue for a team in that mode. But that's not how Vanguard multiplayer works. You can solo queue and get put against a 4-stack. If that's possible, then be the 4-stack. But if CDL ranked had a dedicated solo queue where it was ranked and everyone was forced to queue solo, then that would be really fun, I think. But since that's not the case, yeah, get fucking teammates.
Yeah.
Next tip is don't be cute. If you're playing ranked, it's because you want to win. So you should be Googling What is the ranked? Think of your favorite CDL active player right now. Google Scump Vanguard CDL setup, class setup. Copy every single thing and only use those things. And it's that simple. Don't get cute. You're not going to break the meta. You're not going to find the secret best gun and attachment combo. You're not going to find the secret best perk. It will not happen. You're dumb and trash, and nothing you can think of will be better than what people who scrim for 12 hours a day have already come up with for you. Copy those things. Don't get cute. You won't have fun. You'll be at a disadvantage.
Yeah, don't try any other guns either. Don't even think about it.
It's that simple. Yeah. Copy what everyone else uses. These people paid $25 million to participate in this league. Trust me, they're taking it more seriously than you. They're better than you. They play the game more than you. They know more than you. They've set up their guns and classes better than you have or are capable of doing. Copy them. And it's that simple. So, yeah. I was using the STG because a screenshot I got from a CDL player had an STG setup on it. That's the only reason I set it up.
Yeah,
I copied that.
He had like 2 auto setups, 2 MP40 setups, and there was 1 STG setup on that. So Raz tried it, and it was like, oh, you could tell right away. I was watching it, I'm like, what? Don't use it. Just stop. He's like, yeah, okay, I'm done.
I used it once, and then I stopped.
Yeah, it was so simple. Much worse. Yeah, I'm surprised he even had a loadout for it, really. But maybe that's like an early on spreadsheet, and he just didn't update it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, don't get cute. That's my next tip.
Yeah,
for sure. What is this next tip here, Tanner? This is a good tip.
So,
real good tip.
As I was saying, you don't get a whole lot of ammo. So in respawn modes, towards like the end of our playing, I started realizing like, oh, you know what? I'm running kind of low on ammo. I ran out of ammo sometimes. It'd be nice to have a secondary. So if I was using an auto and I killed someone with an MP40, I would pick up their MP40 build. And it's easier to do that in this too because, you know, every single person is using the same MP40 loadout. So you know how it's going to feel. It's not going to be any different. The only thing is sometimes people put like a NIDAR optic on it instead of like irons. That'd be the only difference. They're running all the same attachments. The gun feels the same, how you set yours up, etc. So if you have an auto, pick up an MP40 on the ground if you're playing respawn modes. And same thing with, you know, if you're running an MP40, pick up an auto if you see one, blah, blah. Because it will come in handy. You know, you may want to change your decision based on if you're like pushing a hard point or staying back, then you can pick one of those guns to run. So I think that's something you need to look out for.
Yeah, and obviously replace your pistol with that gun, not your main gun. Unless you're out of ammo, then replace your main gun. But yeah, that's a good tip. That's a real good tip. I don't know if this is worth doing in search, because there was one game of search.
No, not in search.
There was one game of search where I was running like an MP40, and then someone died, and their automaton was on the ground. And I was like, should I switch to my pistol and pick this up? Or am I going to get shot while I do this?
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? I'm not going to risk it. And then I just kept moving. So I don't know if it's worth doing in search. You'd have to talk to someone more experienced than me. But I would say probably not. You're not going to run out of ammo in search. So I think it matters less in that mode anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's riskier in that mode, I think, too. But yeah, like this is a good point in, I think, Control... especially because there's static spawns. Unless you're getting spawn camped in Control, then you're not really going to be at a huge danger of dying while you pick it up. A lot of times.
Yeah.
Or hardpoint too. I think if the point has moved on, you can pretty safely pick up a gun. I think that's a good idea for sure. Because you can like have the automaton up when you're peeking the long lane, but once you're getting really close to the point, now you have an MP40 also. So now you have the best gun for this room, this little building you're entering. That's a really good tip. Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, my other strat was seriously do the prone thing. It worked a lot. Prone random spots. They don't ever expect it, man. Get a lot of kills that way.
I actually think that's a good tip if you like control a hard point or you control the zone in control and you're like capping it. Maybe less so in control because people tend to nade spam it more for whatever reason. I don't know why they do that more than in hard point.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. That was my experience and I can't explain why that's the case. But like I was getting nade spammed way more in control than I was in hard point on unobjective, which is weird. But anyways. Maybe it's because people are dying getting to the point more in hard point because the spawns aren't guaranteed to be on opposite ends of the map for each team. That would be my guess.
Well, also, it's like hard point people start, if there's like 12 seconds left, someone's not going to run into it. They're going to start going to the next one, so more people split up. When control after one's capped, all 8 players are fighting over that same small objective the entire time. So it's like me constantly, too. I'm just throwing nades at it when I spawn in and I'm within range. And if they're on, I'm tossing nades.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. The prone strat. So, yeah, if you're going to do the prone strat, I think it's a good idea, and you're basically guaranteed to get the first kill.
Yeah.
Because if someone turns the corner and you have not killed anyone on their team this way yet, you're going to kill them. They're not going to be aiming at the floor. They might think you're dead. You have plenty of time to kill them before they realize what's going on.
Yeah.
But in really high elo, you can bet that they're going to be like, the guy's prone on the point, be careful. And then they might turn the corner and fuck you, and that strat might not work again for the rest of the game. But if you're low elo, it's probably going to work a lot, even if they know what you're doing. Or they might just not realize that you're going to do it again at low elo, which is what was happening to Tanner. But at high elo, it's at least a way to get at least one guaranteed kill. And if you're in the highest bracket, prone in the middle of the point, get one kill, and then never do it again for the rest of the match. But you still got one free kill. It's still a free kill, which is good. So something to consider doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It actually does work. Even in the highest elo, I guarantee you it would work.
Yeah.
If you know what door they're going to peek anyway.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And then overall impressions we're going to get into here. So overall, I had a ton of fun. Way more fun than I expected to have. Big part of that was because you don't die to cheese or kill streaks often. Big part of that was because it's 4v4, so gunfights actually matter. Big part of that was not having recoil booster, so time to kill was noticeably shorter, but not longer, but not long enough, but still longer, so that was good. But the biggest contributing factor to how much fun I had was that I was playing with my entire team in voice. We were a full stack. As such, we lost 2 out of like 15 matches. That's it. No, 3. We lost 3 games. We lost our first 2 games because we didn't know what the fuck was going on.
We had needed to warm up quite a bit. That became
literally
apparent.
Just actual warm-up games. And then we lost 1 more game out of the next like 13 we played. Literally. We lost 3 total games out of, again, like 15. So part of that is because we were stacked. Part of that is because I carried my team. And that makes it a lot of fun. Because if you stack, number one, you're playing with your friends. You're all in voice. You're having a good time. Playing any video game with your friends is going to be more fun than playing alone. We are great apes, after all, social creatures and all that dog shit. So, and then another part of that is if you play with a full stack, whether they're your friends or not, you're more likely to win because you have better comms, better synergy, all of that. And if you're winning a game, it's more fun than not winning the game, obviously. So that's going to contribute a lot to your fun if you're playing in a stack for those 2 reasons. So the big reason I had so much more fun than I expected to is because I was playing in a full stack. And I think for those of you listening, the amount of fun you will have playing ranked Vanguard will depend largely on who you're running with and how many people you're running with. If you're playing solo, I just don't think it's going to be nearly as fun. Do I think solo ranked Vanguard multi would be more fun than solo pubs Vanguard multi? I don't know. Maybe. Depends on how well I was doing. That's, I think, it.
Yeah.
I think
don't
if I was
know.
winning more than losing, I would have more fun playing solo Vanguard ranked than solo pubs. But if I was losing more than I was winning, I would definitely have more fun in pubs. But if you can get a stack, you're going to have a lot of fun. But playing solo would be a nightmare of biblical proportions, I think, because you are very, very, very unlikely to beat a 4-stack in a ranked mode if you're not a 4-stack yourself.
And most people we were playing seem to be stacks. I feel like most
Yes.
groups was like at least a group of 3, and then there'd be like a 4th random or something. I mean, there were people with the same clan tags. You can tell the way they were talking to each
Yes.
other in-game voice chat that they knew each other. But yeah, solo queuing and ranked, I don't know, it just never sounds that fun. But, you know, maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe you'll actually find people that were also solo queuing, and then you guys can get a little squad going too. That happens every once in a while. I found people I played Counter-Strike with that way that I found through pubs, and then we kind of teamed up and started running together. So that will happen too. You're more likely to find a buddy playing solo queuing ranked mode than you are finding a buddy solo queuing pubs, because you're never going to find anyone. Everyone's going to be toxic and you know, or just not going to talk at all. So yeah, but try to find some people to play with. It'll make the experience better. Yeah, it started off rough for us. First 2 games, I was like, okay, well, I'm done with ranked. I'm ready to get off. But it was like, one of them was Control. That was the first time playing Control on Vanguard. Wasn't exactly sure what to expect. And then I think the very first match was Desert Siege Search. That was literally, I think, my first time playing Search on Vanguard as well. So it's like, took some figuring out, but once we got warmed up and stuff, and then I think our third game, I think the first game we won was like Hardpoint. Once we saw Hardpoint, we're like, okay, we know what to do. Hardpoint is more about just slaying out, and we, you know, on all the respawn modes, we killed the other team so many more times. We absolutely just outgunned them.
Farmed.
Yeah. So when it came to that, it was a lot better for us. But like Search and shit, that took some warming up. Control was, I don't like Control at all. I've never liked that game mode. I think it's terrible. But, you know, it got more fun towards the end. Once we kind of understood how we should be playing, not just running one by one into the objective and getting
like
sprayed
waiting.
down.
Yep.
Yeah. So we kind of figured it out towards the end, and it was fun. But yeah, overall, I had a blast playing this. Vanguard Pubs is not fun anymore, in my opinion. Way too much just shit, clutter, dog shit, trash that you die to. It's not exciting. Yeah, I think it was a lot of fun. I literally had more fun playing this than the last few times I've had playing Warzone, so that was a nice change of pace.
True.
Gives you a reason to want to play, want to rank up, want to have fun, want to have gunfights. So I had a blast, and I highly recommend trying it out. Even if you haven't been loving Vanguard, this doesn't exactly feel like it, because you're probably thinking the same thing I am. Grenade spam, fire on your screen, attack dogs, and there's none of that in this.
Yeah. I will say about Control, I think I like the concept of Control as a game mode, and I think it would be a lot of fun if the maps for Control in Vanguard were good. I think it would be fun. But Control Gavutu is like the worst playlist in all of Vanguard Ranked, in my opinion, because it is just so fucking one-sided for defense, especially because of that dumb fucking boat. It's like, when you're playing Control on Gavutu and you're on offense, the strat, we talked about it. It was like, okay, guys, we are literally all going to sit on the point now, tack sprint directly into it and cap it insta, or we can just quit because we will lose. It's that simple. You can't give the defending team time to get to the boat and hold it, or you will not even reach A ever again. It's that dog shit of a terrible one-sided trash map. So, and then Tuscan's just not a good map in general. It's not good on Control either. And one thing, Tuscan is too big, I think, in Control, because if you take A on offense for Tuscan, and then you only have B left, B is a 5-second jog from defender spawn to being in your line of sight. But if you're on offense, B is a 2-mile expedition back to B. It's too close to the defender spawn. It's very difficult to take also because it's too big.
Yeah.
So Control, I think, would be fun if they weren't just on dog shit maps, actually. So that's one thing I would say about Control is I would like to enjoy Control, but it would have to be on better maps, or at least put the points in better locations for Control.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. But another overall impression I have is the ranking system did seem to work because most matches felt pretty competitive, like pretty close. We got shit on our first 2 games. And then we were rolling teams for quite a while, honestly. But it's still because we were so new that our rating wasn't like appropriate. But like toward the end, like the last maybe 5 games, they were all pretty competitive, fun games that like definitely could have gone either way. We even got a reverse sweep one game.
Oh, yeah, we did.
On Control.
Yeah, that was fun. That was hype.
And that contributed a lot to how much fun we had, is because it was an appropriate challenge where it wasn't like Warzone where you absolutely get raped because everyone's cheating. That's not competitive. That's just getting shit on. And it's not like 4 stacking pubs where we would win every single game easily. It was actually competitive most of the time. And that contributed a lot to how fun it was too. The ranking system does seem to work quite well, and it put us against players of an appropriate skill level to where each game was fairly challenging toward the end once our ranking started to settle. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, maybe that's why also the first 2 games we got destroyed. Maybe the, maybe we were just getting placed against people that were a lot better than us. So, yeah, once we had like some good solid matches and stuff and figured out what to do and, played Control for like the second time on Gavutu, then we kind of knew what we were doing. It just got a lot more fun in general, more competitive. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, overall, again, really fun. I encourage you guys to play it with your friends, or at least get friends in Discord, or at least get you guys. No one wants to be your friend, obviously, but you can at least get teammates in our Discord, of other people who can't find friends just like you. And then maybe you'll commiserate together and eventually become friends, and you'll bond over the fact that no one likes you. While playing Vanguard ranked multiplayer. If you go into it with a stack, I think you're going to have a really good time. Even with one other person, I think it's worth doing. But ideally 4, obviously. So overall, that is that. Tanner, anything you'd like to add?
No.
Cool.
Nope, don't think so.
So overall, those are our impressions. I suspect we might play ranked again on stream.
Yeah,
I think it was really fun.
Got to be like a zombies type thing, doing. Almost entertaining.
Exactly.
To play.
Instead of zombies, like a Friday stream, we could do some ranked. That would be fun. Really good time. So, other than that, boys and girls, that is it. No real reminders from me. We'll be back next week on at a date at a time. We've got plenty of more Patreon episodes coming up, so keep your eyes on the Patreon. And that reminds me, patreon.com/thedropshot is the best way to support the show. We do 7 bonus episodes every single month covering the whole gamut of Call of Duty topics. So if you want even more of this podcast, seek therapy, and also go to patreon.com/thedropshot to get more. It's the best way to support the show. It's the best for you because that's where we offer all of our bonus content, and it is the best for us. Once again, patreon.com/thedropshot. We appreciate and thank each and every one of our patrons.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. Have an excellent evening, of course. And as always, remember, stay humble.
Stay humble.